Hi. So let's look at example. This is the third example we're doing from this lesson 6.1.6.2, but it's actually example number 4 from the book. We didn't do number 3. So we looked at how you can make inferences from a graph, and we looked at how you could make inferences from the measure of the center, mean, median, and mode, or at least mean and median. Um, And then finally, we're going to look at actually making numerical um, predictions. So using the data to really actually make some sort of prediction. So in this example here, rather than there being people have lots of different, like in the other thing with Sasha, and she was asking like how many hours of sleep they got each night. So there's lots of different answers people can give. Derek's asking a question of seventh graders in his school. He's essentially asking them a yes or no type question. Do you have a cell phone? So they either do or they don't. So there's no need to find like mean, median, mode. We're not going to be able to make a graph of that because there's either yes or no. Um, so what he finds is, first of all, it says he collects data from a random sample. Okay. And again, they're not telling us how they did the sampling method, but that it's random. And so we're assuming it's representative of the seventh grade. And I can tell from what this says, the number of people he surveyed. So it says here that he finds that 16 out of 20 seventh graders have cell phones. So based on this ratio that they're giving us, the 20 is the number of seventh graders from the random sampling. And out of those 20 randomly sampled, 16 said, yes, I have a cell phone. So he's going to use that information to make a prediction about how many seventh graders in his school have cell phones. And it's going to be a prediction, an estimate. Okay. So to do that, we're going to use equal ratios. So they're giving us a ratio already. They're saying 16 have cell phones. I didn't write the whole thing, but 16 have cell phones out of the 20 that are surveyed. So that's the part of the survey that have cell phones over the total surveyed. That means there was 4 that said no. Okay. So that's my ratio. We're going to use that ratio to make a prediction that if 16 out of 20 have a cell phone, then we can figure out how many out of 290 total have a cell phone. So this is an equal ratio or a proportion. And you learned how to solve proportions earlier in the year, and there's actually several different strategies. I'm going to use the equation solving method to solve this, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at my equation, and I'm going to rewrite this equation without words in it. I just use the words to set it up correctly, so I know that I have the numbers in the right place. So I'm going to rewrite this without any words on it. So I have 16 divided by 20 equals x over 290. And so to solve this equation, the first thing I'm going to do is simplify. So I'm going to simplify 16 over 20 by dividing. I'm going to do 16 divided by 20, and I'm going to get the decimal 0.8. So 0.8 equals x divided by 290. So now how do I solve this equation? I'm looking on the right. If I'm dividing x by a number, the opposite of divide is to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 290. I'm going to multiply by 290. And then I get 232. And now I'm going to take this and put it back in here in my original ratio, 232. And I'm going to ask myself this question. Does it make sense to say that 232 seventh graders have a cell phone out of 290? Well, if I look at my original ratio, 16 to 20, I can actually put that in a calculator and I can simplify it. So I can put in the calculator 16. You can't see what I'm typing, so I don't know why I'm doing it, but 16 over 20 enter, and then I can use the calculator to simplify. So I push simp, enter, and I'm going to keep doing it until the error is done and I get down to 4/5. Okay, so that means 4/5 of the population have a cell phone, 4 out of 5. That's a significant number. That means only 1 out of 5 doesn't. Okay, so there's my simplified ratio. Next, I'm going to now take my other ratio, 232. 232 over 290. That is my new ratio, and I put it in like a fraction, and I'm going to hit simplify. I'm going to keep hitting simplify until there's no more arrow, and when I simplify it down, I don't know if you can see it, but I get 4/5 again. It's backwards, I'm sorry. So what that means is when I simplify this ratio, I get 4 out of 5, 4/5. And when I simplify this ratio, I get 4/5. So they're equal. So that is a way to check to see if I have the right answer. There's actually more than one way. That's just a way. So if you ever get an answer up here and it's bigger than the total, it's probably wrong. Or if it's really small, and so just kind of checking your answer. But that's my strategy for solving this proportion. There's lots of strategies. If you don't like this one, I can show you others. But this one is pretty efficient. Thanks.